Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kyle Richards reveals where she stands with Mauricio Umansky's family today. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky may be separated, but Kyle still makes time for her in-laws. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show, which you can watch above, Kyle talked to her castmate Erica Jane about Mauricio's new condo. While mulling over the details of her ex's new living space, Kyle noted she hasn't yet visited, not for any particular reason, but because it just hasn't worked out yet. Mauricio did, however, suggest celebrating holidays at his place, but Kyle maintained their Encino home is still a better option for hosting family. The Jewish holidays just passed, and he said, "Can you come over and we'll do the holidays at my house?" And I was like, "I have more space here," Kyle shared. "So, I've been still hosting the Jewish holiday dinners with his family." When Erica asked how that went, considering Kyle and Mauricio's separation, Kyle asserted everything was copacetic. "In those moments, we're just family," Kyle stated. Mauricio's journey to becoming a real estate powerhouse began long before he sold luxury homes. Born in Mexico City in 1970 to clothing manufacturer Eduardo Umansky and psychologist Estela Snider, Mauricio experienced a major life change when his parents uprooted the family in the mid-1970s. In a 2021 video for Travis Mathew, he recalled, "My family moved to the U.S. in 1976. I was 6 years old." Related. This photo of a young Mauricio Umansky offers a rare look at his life before Kyle Richards. The decision, he explained, was driven by mounting instability back home. It was a time in Mexico where the politics were very in turmoil. There was a lot of nationalism in terms of the government taking away businesses. There was a major devaluation of the peso. RDOBH husband Mauricio Umansky shares 1975 and 2025 photos of him and his cousin Sam. Photo: Mauricio Umansky. Mauricio remained with the family enterprise until it was sold in the 1990s, carrying forward the sales savvy he first learned on warehouse floors into his now famed career in high-end real estate. Kyle confirmed during the RHOBH Season 14 reunion that she and Mauricio Umansky are legally separated, though not divorced. Appearing on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen in December 2024, Kyle explained they remain good friends who get along really well, but now lead separate lives. She added during the reunion that they still talk every day. Season 14 documented this unusual dynamic. Viewers watched Kyle tell Mauricio she wanted to live apart and later discuss her feelings about him living his best life while she was still adjusting to hers. See how Kathy Hilton surprised Andy Cohen with this stunning declaration about Kyle and Mauricio. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky's relationship has evolved into a complex tapestry of friendship, reflection, and emotional growth. Their journey from a 27-year marriage to a public separation has been marked by candid moments, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to their family. Kyle and Mauricio's story began in 1994, when they met at a nightclub. They married in 1996 and built a life together, raising 4 daughters: Farrah Brittany from Kyle's first marriage, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. Their union was often celebrated in the public eye, especially through Kyle's appearances on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. In July 2023, after years of navigating challenges, Kyle and Mauricio announced their separation. Despite living under the same roof initially, they began leading separate lives, focusing on co-parenting and maintaining their family dynamics. Kyle acknowledged the difficulty of their situation, stating that it was very hard to do due to the public scrutiny. Their separation was further complicated by a viral incident in March 2025, when photos surfaced of Mauricio kissing another woman in Mykonos. During an emotional conversation on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Mauricio apologized, expressing regret for any pain caused. Kyle, while accepting his apology, admitted that the photos served as a wake-up call, signaling that Mauricio had moved on. Despite their separation, Kyle and Mauricio have maintained open lines of communication. Kyle revealed that they text sometimes on a daily basis and speak in person or over the phone, maybe a couple of times a week. Their continued interaction underscores a deep-rooted friendship and mutual care. As of early 2025, neither Kyle nor Mauricio has filed for divorce. Kyle expressed that they have not talked about getting a divorce yet, emphasizing that they are good friends and care about each other very much. Their daughters have shown support for their individual happiness, with Kyle noting that her children are mentally prepared for her to date lights of Beverly Hills, where every step is watched, every word weighed, and every smile analyzed. Kyle Richards has always been more than a reality star. She's been the emotional center of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the heart behind the diamonds. But when life off-camera started to mirror the drama on screen, many wondered where the truth ended and the storyline began. In 2023, headlines screamed louder than ever. Trouble in paradise? Kyle and Mauricio living separate lives. The whispers grew into thunder. But amidst the chaos, one message rang clearer than any tabloid speculation. She stands with Mauricio. Kyle Richards, actress, mother, sister, businesswoman, never claimed her life was perfect. That wasn't her brand. Her strength has always come from her vulnerability, from letting people in during the hard moments and showing the world that beneath the designer clothes and dazzling jewels, she's human. So when her 27-year marriage to Mauricio Umansky hit rocky ground, she didn't hide. But she also didn't flinch. "It's complicated," she said quietly in an interview, her voice steady, her eyes heavy with the kind of knowing that comes from living a full, messy, beautiful life. "We've had our ups and downs like anyone, but no matter what, I stand with Mo." Those 6 words carried weight, especially in a world that expects clean breaks, instant answers, and quick judgments. For Kyle, standing with Mauricio wasn't about denying problems or faking a facade. It was about love, the real kind. The kind that weathers storms, redefines itself, and sometimes takes on new forms as two people evolve. Together, Kyle and Mauricio built more than a home. They built a legacy. They raised 4 strong, beautiful daughters who are now carving their own paths in life. They launched businesses, took risks, and supported each other through loss, triumph, and transformation. What they had, and still have, is history, respect, and a deep bond that doesn't crumble at the first sign of cracks. "It's easy to throw people away in today's world," Kyle said. "But that's not how I was raised. That's not who I am." She could have walked away. Others might have. But Kyle chose a different path. Not because it's easier, it's not, but because it's hers. And because she believes in what they built, in the love they shared, and in the man she still calls her partner, even as they navigate the changing tides of their relationship. Mauricio, for his part, has remained gracious, grounded, and endlessly supportive, even when rumors flew and social media buzzed with speculation. He's spoken publicly with compassion and clarity, echoing Kyle's sentiments and making it clear. Love doesn't always look like a fairy tale, but it doesn't disappear either. "We've been through so much together," he said in an interview. "I will always love Kyle. We're figuring it out, and that's okay." And maybe that's the lesson here. In a world obsessed with endings and labels, maybe the truth lies in the in-between. Maybe love can stretch and shift without shattering. Maybe standing with someone doesn't mean standing still. Maybe it means choosing, day by day, to honor the past while creating space for the future, whatever it may hold. Kyle has done just that. She's embraced growth. Physically, emotionally, even spiritually. She's taken up new interests, rediscovered her strength, and let herself evolve outside of the shadow of any one role. Wife, mother, sister, star. And yet, her connection to Mauricio remains a thrift line, not as a crutch, but as a conscious choice. "I'm proud of us," she says now. "Not because we're perfect, but because we're real. And because we've stayed kind through it all." In many ways, Kyle standing with Mauricio isn't just about one couple. It's about what happens when life doesn't follow the script. It's about choosing empathy over ego, connection over chaos. It's about seeing the humanity in each other, even when the headlines try to flatten it into something juicy or scandalous. Fans of the show have watched Kyle grow from a shy, sensitive sister into a commanding presence, bold, funny, and fiercely loyal. Through family feuds, friendships tested, and public pressure, she's remained remarkably herself. And now, facing perhaps the most personal story arc of all, she's doing it again, with grace, with honesty, and with her signature quiet strength. As for what the future holds, Kyle isn't rushing to define it. "We're still writing our story," she says, smiling softly. "And I'm okay with not knowing the ending." There's something deeply powerful in that, in choosing to stay when others expect you to go, in choosing to speak with love when bitterness would be easier, in choosing to stand with someone not because it's perfect, but because it matters.